hello. Hi. Hi. Wow, why you name yourself Romance Sakuna? Later Gojo come and attack you. Hi. 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 Okay, I'm gonna start. Wow, you're so confident you. Okay. Okay, everybody, hi, welcome back. Okay, hello. Alright, today we'll be going through P6, but it's June holidays, right? How is your June holidays? So we'll be doing mixed topic revision, okay? So mixed topic basically means that we'll be going through topics that are in P3 all the way to P6, okay? We'll mix it up, okay? Okay. Oh, why you say ara ara? Why are you learning that? Okay, all right, so let's look at this one. Oh, enjoy your trip to Malaysia, okay? So everybody, okay, I will starting. Okay, so hi. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Okay, the first question is actually very big. Okay, so I show you the top part first. All right. So, oh, today don't have. I am not sure for the Kahoot. Let me think. The Kahoot for this week. I think is English. P6 English. Yeah. Which is on Thursday, I think. Okay. Hey, happy birthday. Hello, you're at Malaysia. Hey, how come got someone with my name? Hello, Duncan. Today don't have Kahoot. Not today. Yeah. Hello, language. Happy birthday, Supernova. Oh, enjoy yourself, Jerry. Next Monday. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, so everybody, all right. Always remember in science, highlight the important key points. Okay, so the first thing is, okay, it says that Clara conducted an experiment in a dark room using a setup below. Okay, so she measured the oh, I sound different. I think the mic is different. I have to use this mic today for TikTok live. Yeah, I think the normal one I have is the headset. Okay, so for this, right, she measured the amount of gas collected in the measuring cylinder after some time. Okay, so how to do ASMR? So strange. Okay, don't want. Okay, so based on this, always make it a good habit to identify your changed and measured variable. Okay, so for this, all right, we should know our measured variable. Can anyone know what is the measured variable? Hey, don't say that, Yuhao. Does anyone know what's the measured variable? Wow, capybara, so fast. Oh no, what happened? Hello, three master poops. I think I recall someone naming poop. Hey, does anyone know what's my measured variable here, everybody? Hi. Okay, so what's the measured variable? Does anyone know? Measured variable is the... Don't know ah? You don't... No, measured variable. Don't need to see the options. Over here got measured variable already. What's the measured variable? Measured variable is something that the person record in the experiment. Yes, the amount of gas collected. Very good, Supernova. All right. Don't say that. You can improve from there. So this is my measured variable. Okay. So this is my measured variable. And after that, she repeated the experiment, but increasing. Okay, I got to highlight the key thing. Another key thing, increasing variable x and keeping all the other variables constant. Okay, so now we don't know what is this variable x, but we know that this variable x will be my changed variable. Okay, because that's what she increased, right? That's what she changed in the experiment. Okay, so now, okay, very good. Thank you, Octopus, as well. Thank you, Natella. Thank you, Capybara. Thank you, Duncan. Okay, so what happens here? Thank you, Yihao. Okay, so what happens here is it says they're asking you what could be variable x. We don't know what the person changed, but based on the results, you're supposed to make a correct option. Okay, choose the correct option. Okay, so what do we notice about the results? Okay, when this particular change variable, okay, increase, okay, from left to right means it increases. Okay, can anyone tell me what happens to the amount of gas collected? The amount of gas collected actually? Does anyone know what happens to the amount of gas collected? The amount of gas collected decreases. Very good. Okay, so we know that it must cause the amount of gas collected to decrease. Okay, if the what does it tells me when amount of gas decrease? What does amount of gas indicates? It will tell me about what? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what does the amount of gas collected tells me in terms of this experiment? Break? No, no break. There's only 1 hour only, no break. Does anyone know what does the amount of gas tells me? Thank you, Supernova. It's about photosynthesis. Why do you know? Why is it photosynthesis? Because there's a water plant, okay, and there is a presence of light, and it's something to do with tracing paper, which will allow some light to pass through, right? So it has something to do with photosynthesis, light and photosynthesis, okay? So take note that this is supposed to cause this variable x. Okay, if there is more of this variable x, when this variable x increases, there will be a decrease in photosynthesis. Does anyone know what's the answer? I show you the options. Okay, which option, when it increases, is going to cause photosynthesis to decrease? A lot of you put 3. Duncan, any idea? Wow, Sigma, what you spam? Thank you, Grace. Thank you, the rest of you. All right, so most of you got it correct. Oh, in fact, all of you got it correct. It's okay for joining late. Okay, at least you joined. Okay, so good. So actually, it would be the number of sheets of tracing paper. Okay, all of you are correct. All of you will send in your answer. You got it correct. Okay, but let me quickly explain why is it the number of tracing paper. Okay, so you must take note that if it's the water plants, if there are more water plants, they're able to photosynthesize more. It should lead to an increase in the amount of gas collected. Okay, so for this, it should lead to an increase in the amount of gas. Okay, so this one will not lead to a decrease. Okay, if there is more water, remember photosynthesis requires water, right? So if the volume of water increases, okay, it should be able to photosynthesize more as well. Okay, so it's supposed to lead to an increase in gas. So wrong. Okay, option 3 is the correct answer because the more the sheets of tracing paper, okay, less light will be able to pass through. Okay, less light can pass through. Okay, so it will lead to less photosynthesis. No cap, yeah, no cap, yes. I'm very serious, no cap. I'm not joking, no cap. All right, so over here, all right, the number of lamps shining on the water plant, the more lamp there is, the more light there is. The more light, it should lead to an increase in photosynthesis. It should lead to an increase in the amount of gas collected. So number 4 should lead to an increase in gas. Okay, does anyone else, do you all need some more time to take this one down? You're in Sec 1. Hi, Belinda. This is a P6 topic. Yes, it's about photosynthesis. You're in Sec 1. Sec 1 got classes also, but it's not science. We have math online classes. Sec 1. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Why you say no? Not done? You still need more time? What when? When what? YS? What's your yes? What is your when? What does your when means? Oh, okay. Okay, footballer. Sure, sure. Okay, everybody okay? Any questions for this? I'm going to move on. Okay. Okay, let me move on, all right? So let me move on. Oh, no questions, is it, Grace? Okay. Thank you, Grace. Okay, so let's look at question 2. Okay, question 2, right? I show you the top part of the question first, okay? Because I scared that the banner on top is going to block. my question. Okay, so over here in a modified game, what happened is Jeremy swings from position X to position Y. Okay, and what happens is that, take note, okay, he swings from one position to another, okay, X to Y, and at position Y, he scores a point if he kicks the ball that is attached to the spring fixed to the ground. Okay, so now, the baller, I'm not talking about you. Okay, so everybody, all right, so you have to understand that when a person swings from one position to another, there's a form of movement. Okay, so take note, there is a form of movement. Okay, so if there is a movement, all right, there should be certain energy that's involved. Okay, so let's go down first to show you the options. Okay, so which of the following shows the correct conservation of energy when Jeremy swings from X and scores a point? Okay, so you need to understand here, right? So the X is at the start. So take note, position X is the start of the person swinging, the start of motion. But if it's at position X, right, what kind of energy should we start off with? Well, a lot of you sending your answers really. Very good. Most of you sending the number. Okay, thank you, footballer. Okay, so yes. All right, most of you are sending the answer to... You got it correct. Very good. But we need to explain, okay, in case some of you don't know why. Okay, so over here, okay, thank you, footballer. At the start, the position X is at a height, right? So if it's at a height, means there would be gravitational potential energy. GPE is at a height. Okay, so now what happens here is that when it moves, okay, so at a height, we start off with GPE, gravitational potential energy, not kinetic. So option 3 and 4 is really wrong. Okay, so why is it 2 and why not 1? Okay, so for this, all right, we should start with gravitational potential energy, okay, of the person is going to be converted to what? The person moves, right? Swinging. So when it swings, the person would have what energy? Then why also so many smiley face, all of you? What energy when a person swings? Oh no. Kinetic. Thank you, footballer. So it's kinetic energy, KE, right? So cannot straight away become potential energy of the ball. Okay, and the ball doesn't have potential energy in the first place. The spring, okay, over here, the ball that is, okay, take note, we don't say that it has potential energy because it's supported. It's not unsupported above the ground. Okay, all right. So yes, very good. So after that, the person kick the ball, right? So kick means the ball will move because it is being kicked. So the kinetic energy of the person, okay, will be converted to kinetic energy of the ball. All right. So your answer is supposed to be number 2. Okay, very good. What your meat? What? Hello, don't everybody. That's not me. Okay. There's no meet. What? Meet and greet. I'm not a superstar. There's no meet and greet or whatsoever. So, hey, what science boot camp? Although I do conduct the science boot camp on one of the outlets. Why are you talking about that? Okay, everybody, okay? All right, thank you, Duncan, as well. Kinetic energy. Thank you, Supernova. All right, so any questions here? Oh no, I don't conduct at Tiong Bahru. The June holiday boot camp I'm conducting at Sun Plaza. Tomorrow actually. Like, everyone, okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so let's move on. All right, thank Saffron. Hello. Okay, let's look at question 3. Question 3 is our P5 topic on reproduction. Maybe some of your favorite topic. Okay, so over here, all right, which of the following statements about the human reproductive system is correct? Always take note to highlight and focus on the question, whether they are asking for the correct option or the wrong option. No Kahoot today. Okay, y'all can tell me which one do y'all think is correct? No Kahoot today. It will be on the Thursday if I'm not wrong. Longest answer means no, doesn't mean longest answer means that means it's the correct answer. Next week, Jerry, on 19 and 20, not me eh. You mean at Sun Plaza? It's not me. I think it's another teacher. Oh, look at, okay, most of you said yes. Okay, so most of you said number 3, and your answer is correct. Okay, so Cherry, I need to go and find out. Later I let you know. Okay, so correct. The answer is number 3. Okay, so let me tell you all why. Thank you, all of you sending your answers. Really good. All of you got it correct. Okay, so over here, why? Let me quickly explain why the answer is number 3. Okay, so number 1 says that one egg is fertilized by many sperm. Why is it wrong? Does anyone know? One egg can be fertilized by many sperm. Why is it wrong? Is this PSLD question? Actually, no. These are like school questions. Those top school questions. Yes, it's only fertilized by one sperm, not many sperm. Okay, so one egg can only be fertilized by one sperm. That's all. So this is wrong. Okay, number 2. Why is number 2 wrong? Does ovary produce male reproductive cell? Oh, Shazwan. Depends on what kind of twins are you referring to. Okay, if it's identical twins means twins that looks alike. Okay, they are one egg. Okay, comes out from the ovary, is fertilized by one sperm. Okay, and when after fertilization, still one egg and one sperm. But after fertilization, the fertilized egg actually splits into two, and that's where you get your identical twins. If they are fraternal, not that means non-identical. Okay, they don't look the same. All right, it's because we have two ovaries, right? Women have two ovaries. So by luck, by chance, not all the time this occurs. Okay, by chance, each ovary release an egg each. Okay, so at the same time, they have two eggs, right? So then one sperm fertilize one egg each. Okay, and that's where you get twins that doesn't look alike. Okay, okay. Okay. So, all right. So, yes, the ovary. Okay, I move on to point number 2 first. Okay, understand already? Okay, so the ovary produces the male reproductive cell. Okay, and this is totally wrong because ovary doesn't produce male; it produces the female reproductive cell. They produces the eggs. Okay, and triplets means it will split into 3. One egg and one sperm. After one sperm fused with one egg, it splits into 3. That's why the chances of twins and the chances of triplets is actually lower than the chances of getting twins. Okay? Okay? Alright, so and number 3 is correct. Fetus basically means the unborn baby. Okay, so the unborn baby will develop in the womb of the female. That's correct. Okay, and number 4 is wrong because the sperm doesn't contain the female reproductive cell, right? Sperm contains the what? Oh, eating now. What are you eating? I haven't eaten my dinner yet. Okay. After the live, I'll go and eat the dinner. You're making me hungry. Okay, the sperm contains the male reproductive cells. Okay, no, Foetus, fetus. Foetus, fetus. Yeah, fetus basically means unborn baby. Shavwan. Why you think so? No. Hey, don't get scammed, okay? That is like a myth. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna move on to 4. Does anyone has any question for question 3? No? No question for question 3? Okay, I'm gonna move on, all right? Ayo, okay, Shafwan, that is the last resort if you really have no clue. Okay. But there is a chance that you will get it wrong also. Okay, let's look at this. Question 4 is your lower block topic. Okay, so the diagram below shows a life cycle of 2 animals, Y and Z. So which of the following animals have a similar life cycle as Y and Z? So can you tell me about the life cycle of Y? Usually the easiest to identify is the number of stages. First thing, compare the number of stages first if you need to compare. Okay, that's the easiest to compare. So Y has how many stages? Yes, I saw 4. Very good. I saw someone write 4 and 3, right? So this has Y has 4 stages, Z has 3 stages. And very good. Okay, Y usually is insects, right? Because insects have larva and pupa stages. Okay, but does anyone know about Z? Z, what do you think? Although it has 3 stages, but do you think it's an insect or do you think it could be other animals as well? For Z, for Z, life cycle Z. Life cycle Z, do you think it could be an insect or it would be other animals also can? Okay, I give you a clue. Look at the name of the stage. Look at the name, the stage name. Look at this stage name. What do you think? If it's this name, the word nymph, can it be for other animals or is it insects only? I gave you a clue already. Yes, very good. Those of you who send in your answers, insects only. So don't get tricked, okay? So must look at the stage name very carefully when it comes to 3 stages life cycle. So the moment you see nymph, okay, you have to look out for insects. Okay? So please be very careful, okay? So both of them would be insects, all right? Just that Y has 4 stages. So send in your answer. Which one do you think? Now y'all don't need to guess whether it's 3 or 4 already. Definite answer. What do you think it is? How come got 2? Excuse me. I don't need, it must be insects because it's nymph. Okay, the correct answer is number 4. Yes, very good. Okay, so all of you who sending your answers in number 4, you got it correct. Okay, so everybody, Y, right, is 4 stages. Frog has 3 stages, so definitely wrong. Okay, beetle, butterfly, mosquito, still accepted. All right, and for Z, okay, it cannot be chicken or frog, even though they have 3 stages, but it cannot because they are not insects. They do not have a name stage. Okay, chicken and frog, we don't call it a name stage. We call it the young. All right, young stage. Okay, so cockroach cannot. Cockroach can. Grasshopper can. Okay, but option 1 is really wrong. Okay, so then 2 and 3 are also wrong. So answer is supposed to be number 4. Yes, correct. All young. For frog, the tadpole you can call it a young also. Okay, can? All right, chick, you also can call it a young. A tadpole can call it a young also. Really? Do you think it's older students, my viewers? How many of you are in secondary school? Oh, tadpole, no. Tadpole is not considered larva. But if the frog is special, okay, although he has 3-stage life cycle, the young does not resemble the adult. Okay? Okay? Ah, PSLE student. PSLE is coming soon in about 3 to 4 more. Yeah, actually 3 to 4 more months. 4 more months. Oral 3 more months. All the best, okay, y'all? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Oh, all the best, okay? Okay, let's look at section B. No, don't cry. All the best. Okay, let's look at question 5 over here. Okay, so for question 5, right? Okay, let's look at this question. It says that Linda ran in the park for 20 minutes and the graph shows her breathing rate after she stopped running. Okay, and the question is asking us for A. All right, let me scroll up a little. Okay, from the graph above, state Linda's normal breathing rate. This one is quite easy. What do you think is? I see some of you all sending in the answers already. Ben the pole inventor. Yeah, what are you talking about? You don't go for prelims? Ah, I'm sure. Okay, you all just study hard. I'm sure that you all can do well. Okay. Okay, oh, I see most of your answers. Very good. Okay, most of, oh, it depends, whether PSLE or prelim is harder, it depends. But most school tends to set prelim papers harder, depend on the school actually also. Okay, but with the recent years, I've noticed that PSLE started giving those more out of the box kind of question, like the mosquito question, and then so on. Requires you to think a little bit more. So you all must be very careful, okay? Okay, so yes, the correct answer. Thank you for all your answers. Those of you who send in 15 breaths per minute, you got it correct. Okay, so why 15 breaths per Okay, so why 15 breaths per minute? Okay, is because, all right, everybody, is because it stays constant here. So when it stays constant means it has reached the resting rate. Okay, the resting breathing rate. All right, breathing rate at rest. Okay, so at rest basically means normal breathing rate. All right, so it's in between 10 and 20. Okay, so it would be 15. Okay, and anyway, they have written it there for you. Okay, so take note. To find normal breathing rate, find the part that remains constant. Okay, so it is actually 15 breaths per minute. Okay, very good. Yeah, the lesson should be recorded. Why? What happened? They usually upload it on YouTube after a while, if I'm not wrong. On our website also would have. Okay, they usually but you give them some time. They usually will show or upload the past TikTok live recordings. Yeah, on our website. Okay, so everybody, let's look at B. Why? Usually they would still give you your marks for PSLE. But for your prelim papers, which is marked by a school teacher, depending on how strict your school teacher is. Okay, so it's always best to write down like your units, like in math like that. Okay, ML for volume. All right, then CN cube for volume. Then for mass, grams. All right, and so on. Okay, can check. Okay, what app? What app? Footballer, what app are you talking about? What app? No. Our website, AGrader Learning Center. No app. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube also you want to say it's considered an app lah, but it's an account. Okay, so everybody, let's look at B. Okay, so why you womp? Hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm from March Booster Program. Now June already. Now I'm in June holiday, the June holiday program as well. Okay, let's look at B. Okay, everybody. So let's look at B, and they say based on the graph above. Okay, we have to explain. Okay, I'm gonna highlight. Explain what happens to Linda's breathing rate once she stopped running. Now, everybody, usually you'll notice this question is a bit different from the normal question that you get. Usually they'll ask you, right? Why can you explain what happened to the breathing rate when the person is exercising? Usually they ask what happens if the person is exercising, what happens if the person is jogging, swimming, etc. But now this question is asking, explain what happened to her breathing rate when she stopped running. So how? I teach P4. No, I don't teach P4 boot camp. But normal classes, I do teach P4. But I teach at like North Point. The not regular physical classes I teach P4. And release less energy and remove less carbon dioxide. Why you don't have June holiday? Oh, you got the idea there. Oh, no. Don't need to say aerobic or anaerobic respiration. Hot fella. Don't need to mention, and the one is not tested in PSLE. The one is secondary school already. Aerobic and anaerobic respiration, the one is secondary school. We don't talk about the aerobic and anaerobic part. Just mention respiration is good enough. Okay, so everybody, Yes, Capybara, you got the idea there. Okay, but less energy. You must mention less energy is needed. Very good. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, you must remember to mention less energy is needed. Okay, so why? Why less energy is needed? Because she is not doing a vigorous exercise. Okay, so you have to mention I have no idea. Okay, so for this, right, everybody, please mention a few key things. I'm going to write it down, okay, for explanation question, okay? And they already say based on the graph, right? So two steps for A grader is either a 2 or a 3 steps answering technique for explanation question, okay? And since this is not an experiment, we use the 2 steps answering technique, which is DS, okay? DS, all right? So DS, 2 steps. Okay, so firstly, what is D? D means I describe. What must I describe first? I have to describe what is happening to the person's breathing rate. They ask what happened. So I need to describe what happened based on the graph. Okay, talk about what happens to the person's breathing rate. So you must say that the person's breathing rate decreased. That's the first thing you need to say. Okay, happy birthday. All right, so you need to say that it decreased first. If not, you lose marks. You need to answer the first part. What happened? Okay, so it decreased. Why did the breathing rate decrease? Okay, so that's my science concept. Okay, you need to talk about a few things when you're talking about breathing rate. So please remember the answering technique. Okay, I'm going to write down the key points. You need to talk about energy. Okay, you need to see, okay, why you need more or less energy. The body needs less energy. So why breathing rate decrease? Okay, for breathing rate, you only need to talk about the gas. Please don't need to talk about digested food. Okay, so don't need to talk about digested food. Okay, teachers programming. No, I don't know anyone that teach programming, unfortunately. Okay, so what happened is don't need to talk about digested food, okay? Only talk about the gases. All right, so I need to mention, okay, talk about oxygen. All right, then talk about what process, which is respiration. Okay, don't need to talk about aerobic or anaerobic respiration, the one in secondary school. Okay, so let's talk about the first one first. We need to state that, you need to tell the teacher that you know that the breathing rate decreased. Okay, no, not Arabic. It's aerobic or anaerobic respiration. Footballer, when you go to secondary school, you will know what I'm talking about. Someone mentioned that just now. Okay, so let me move on first, okay? So you need to say that her breathing rate decreased, okay, as she started to breathe slower. This is my first point, describe. Okay? So then the second marks come from your why she needs to breathe slower. So which is your the blue colored words. Okay, so let me write in blue. Okay, so I need to say, what happened to your badge? What badge? Oh, you went to English boot camp today? Read your answer. Yeah, I saw your answer, Capybara. Just now you say less energy and remove less carbon dioxide. You need to talk about taking in less oxygen also. Yeah. Result? No, this is not an experiment. Octopus. Not all the time graphs and tables represents experiment. Experiment means you must have change variable. This one only the person, only one person. No change, okay, no change variable here. Okay, can? All right. So, okay, so what happened is started to breathe slower. So as her body needs less energy, okay, because she's no longer exercising, right? So she needs less energy, thus less oxygen is needed to undergo less respiration. You copied the answer key. What you mean? How come got answer key? How come you have the answer key? What do you mean? Less respiration. Okay, to release less energy and to remove less carbon dioxide. Okay? All right, I'm going to highlight the key things, okay? So to do this question, you must mention these key words. All right, so you need to state what happened first. Explain what happened. So you tell your teacher what happened. Breathing rate decreased. Why? She breathes slower. Okay, so now why must she breathe slower? Okay, because the body needs less energy, not exercising anymore, right? So it needs less energy, less oxygen is needed to undergo less respiration so that there will be less energy released, and it's also you don't need to remove that much carbon dioxide. Okay, remove less carbon dioxide because there's less respiration. Okay, can understand? Okay. Everyone okay, can? Yeah, it's 2 marks. Shafran. 2 marks question, especially explanation, you wouldn't be short. So if you write too short, right, then there might be something wrong. You must be careful, okay? If it's a 1 mark explanation, then maybe it could be shorter. It's more direct answer. But this one is a standard answering technique. Every time they ask for why a person's breathing rate increase or decrease, you can use the same technique. Okay, just replace. If it's increase, you say breathe faster because the body needs more energy to struggle. So you need to take in more oxygen, more respiration or faster respiration, and to remove more carbon dioxide. Okay, so if it's it will be the other way around. Hey, sharp one. Okay, everyone, okay? What happened? Oh, because it is covering the rest of the thing, is it? Okay, okay. Y'all just share once. I'm very happy that you are sharing the live. Okay, but if you all keep spamming, then you're gonna block the rest. Okay, don't do that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Hello, what is that? Okay, everyone, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Hello, who is the can of milk tea? Hello, how you know my name? Who is the can of milk tea? Okay, let's look at question 6, everybody. Is this PSLE? What do you mean? This is P6 lesson, but we'll be doing mixed topic because PSLE tests on all the different topics. Yeah, okay, let's move on to question 6. Okay, so this is your P6 topic. All right, so let's look at this one. Some scientists conducted a study on the pond in a field as shown below. Okay, they mentioned that plant C and D reproduce at a rate faster than plant E. Okay, after a while, plant E started dying. Explain why. I have no idea what you're talking about. Actually, what is that game? Okay, so let's look at this one. Oh, Hannah. Oh, Hannah. Hello, Hannah. Yeah, too many people change their name on TikTok very often, Hannah. So so I don't know already. Hey, why got that thing? Do you see that thing? I don't know why that thing appeared. Okay, so let's move on, okay? Okay, so everybody, let's look at A. So for A, they said that C and D reproduce faster than E. Then after a while, E starts dying. Does anyone know why? What do you think? Wait, what do you think is happening? What do you think is happening? Does anyone know? If you look at plant C and plant D, then they reproduce faster. Means what do you think will happen? Oh, Shafwan, you got the idea there. Yes. Okay, so basically, you know that E started dying, right? Because E is a submerged plant. Okay, so E, we call E a submerged plant. Okay, so always remember, okay, submerged plant will be affected by floating or partially submerged plants. Okay, not like we use shapes to represent the plant. The school used the shape to represent the plant. Very good, AL10. Okay, very good. Thank you, Capybara. Okay, so basically what happens is that since they are submerged, right? And what happens is C and D are floating plants. So what did the floating plants do? They are floating. C and D are floating plants. I write down all the notes, okay? C and D are floating plants. So what do you think floating plants do? You cannot just straight away say, okay, those of you who explain and straight away say that there's not enough light. So plant E cannot photosynthesize. The end. So they die. You will lose marks. You will lose 1 mark. You need to first mention what? Does anyone know? Firstly, you must mention that what? Talk about the plants C and D. How plant C and D affects plant E. Does anyone know how does C and D affects E? Capybara, you got the idea there. Very good. Okay, so C and D, okay, are floating plants, right? So if they reproduce more, then they'll start blocking or covering the entire surface, the top surface of the pond. Okay, so it will actually block sunlight. Okay, so that's my first thing. So firstly, explain why in AGrader we teach 2 or 3 steps answering technique. So over here, not an experiment, 2 steps. Okay, describe about C and D in terms of how does it affect the light, the amount of light. Okay, then your science concept, S is science concept. Okay, science concept talk about the process that plant E cannot undergo. Okay, very good. Skies play. Okay, so what happened is you got the idea that skies play. All right, so you must say firstly say that there are more, since they say reproduce at a faster rate, right? So you must say more plants C and D which are floating plants and will block light from reaching plant E. Okay, what is LAO? What is LAO? Okay, and after that, what happened next is that you must mention about the process. Okay, so if it blocks light, then you must talk about plant E. Plant E traps less light and undergo less photosynthesis to make less food to survive. Okay, I'm going to highlight the key things, everybody. So I need to say that more plants, C and D, they are floating plants, so they will block light, and plant E will trap less light, undergo less photosynthesis, and make less food. And that's why it dies. No photosynthesis, also not wrong. Still reasonable. Oh, Joel, I don't teach Zoom classes for P5. I only teach P6s for the online class. P5, we have teacher KH. He will be conducting the TikTok live tomorrow. You can watch his TikTok live, then you see. Okay, everyone, okay? Does anyone has any questions or who needs more time for this question? Anyone? Oh, you need more time? Footballer, you need more time? You're asking who? What's your favorite food? Hey, why you keep using my name? Change. You are an imposter. You know, you play the Among Us. You are the imposter. Me? What fabric? I don't eat fabric. What are you talking about? My favorite food, I like sushi. Sashimi. Hi. Hello. Hello. I love my mom. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna move on. Okay, next. Clap less like Ken. Me? I'm teacher Jody. Yeah, I'm teacher Jody. Okay, I'm gonna move on. But the person typing with the name teacher Jody is not me, okay? The one is an imposter. The one in the chat is an imposter. Okay, I'm gonna move on again. So over here, it says that the scientists found that as plant E started dying, okay, the amount of bacteria dying, okay, living things are dying. The amount of bacteria started increasing. Okay, at the same time, the amount of oxygen in the pond started decreasing. So give a reason on how the increase in amount of bacteria, how the bacteria actually affected the amount of oxygen in the pond. Does anyone know why the oxygen decreases? Very good, Capybara. Thank you for your answer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so very good because bacteria, right? Bacteria is a living thing. All living things takes in oxygen for respiration. Okay, so take note that the oxygen level actually decrease because it's being used up by the bacteria. Okay, and does anyone know? Does anyone has any idea why when plant starts dying, there is more bacteria? Bacteria is a what? You all should learn this in the topic on living together already. Bacteria is a what? What? How come? Why is there? Bacteria not fungi. Bacteria and fungi are different. Bacteria is a what? Decomposer. YS, very good. You got the idea there. Okay, when living things starts dying, that you will notice an increase in either fungi, which is mushrooms, okay, example, or you will see an increase in bacteria. Why? Because bacteria is a decomposer. Decomposers will help to break down dead matter into nutrients for the soil, okay, for the plants. Okay, so everybody just give a reason. So it will be 1 mark, short answer. Okay, because bacteria, I write this one down. Okay, some of you have given me your answer. Very good. Bacteria are living things. Okay, which use up oxygen for respiration. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the key things. All right, need to mention use of oxygen, respiration. How come you all talk about Yishun suddenly? What happened? What is pineapple? What? Okay, everybody okay? Pineapples? Why are you talking about that? Okay. Does anyone has any questions so far? Sky, please. Very good. Sky, please. Correct. Wow, Shafwan, that is a very long time, you know. I honestly cannot remember. But I remember I got 2 A's and 2 B's. I cannot remember the exact score. Last time we go by A, B, C's. We don't have like AL1, AL2, AL... Yeah. Okay, everyone, okay? I gotta move on. Okay. I gotta move on. Let's look at C. Okay, so for C, everybody, they said that animal Y feeds on animal Z. This is a bit like your food chain and food web question, okay? Then with more plant E dying, explain how these cause animal Z to be more easily preyed on by animal Y. Now, look at animal Z. You must be thinking, what does it got to do with animal Z? Animal Z is over here. Look, animal Z. Look at where are animal Z. So, what do you think? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Animal Z? Why does having lesser lesser and plant E. With more plant E dying means there will be lesser E, right? Lesser plant E. How come it will affect animal Z getting preyed on? Oh, Shafwan, you got the idea there. You got the idea there. Sky play. What are you talking about? Capybara, you got the idea there. Okay, okay, everybody, you got the idea there, okay? So take note that animal Z actually depends on what? Depends on plant E for places to hide, shelter, for places to hide for shelter and protection. Very good, okay? So what happens is that, all right, symbiosis is not tested in PSLE. Don't need to mention that. Okay, so what happened is that, all right, you just mentioned that there will be less place to hide. Okay, so when it's less place to hide, you'll be easily spotted by animal Y. So if it's more easily spotted, all right, it will decrease the chance of survival. So talk about survival. All right, so when it comes to this type of question, explain how. And you know that it's roughly to do with prey, predator, food chain, food web question. Okay, the first thing you need to do is describe how does plant E affects animal Z. Okay, then your science concept, 2 steps answering technique, talk about their rate of survival. Okay, so those of you who send in your answers, you got the idea there, very good. So you need to say that animal Z, okay, has less place to hide. Okay, causing them to be easily spotted by animal Y, decreasing the chance of survival. Why? Hey, you don't anyhow say. Who says I give 100 bonus bucks per month? Excuse me. Yo, okay, I'm gonna highlight the key thing, okay? Less place to hide. All right, so they'll be easily spotted. So it decreases the chance of survival. Okay, so please take note to mention that it decreases the chance of survival. Yes, so it's easier for them to get caught. Okay, very good, Jake. Okay, does anyone has okay one? No cover. Oh, you say until like that, Shafwan. Must be a bit more scientific. Less place to hide, easily spotted, decreasing chance of survival. Ayo. Okay? Do you all have any questions so far? Ayo, someone join when it's over, when it's almost over. No question? Okay, very good. All right, just a gentle reminder that there would be actually having online classes. Okay, we have English, Math, Science, and Creative Writing from P5 to P6. Okay, I'll be teaching the P5 Science. All right, and then we also have those of you who are secondary school. We have Math online classes as well. Okay, for Sec 1 and Sec 2. Okay, Ken? Job interview. Shafwan, why is so random? Job interview is a bit okay, so now, just let you all know, tomorrow 11 June there will be P5 Science Live, TikTok Live at 7 p.m. Okay, who want to go for DSA? Chloe, it's okay. So funny, you are Sec 1 and still watching. Never mind. Is always is all we are always learning things every day. Okay, why you want to retake PSLE 2004, 2024, or 2004? Shafwan, how old are you? Okay. There are any more? No more questions? Then I will end the meeting. What hunt? What hunt? So scary. Okay. Shafwan, you are 30? Are you sure? Don't scare me. If you're 30, you are quite close to my age. What me? What happened to me? What is going on? 500 bonus bucks? No, the 500 bonus bucks is, I don't give 500 bonus bucks a month. Only Monopoly. Little Monopoly money I'll give you. Okay. Okay, I will end the live already, okay? Sorry? Do you give bonus bucks? I give bonus bucks for normal classes. Yeah. Predation? Predation you can explain as part of the answer. But symbiosis, you're not supposed to mention it for PSLE science. Okay, but you must explain. You cannot just mention symbiosis. Okay, so you can explain in terms of their interdependence. Yeah, symbiosis is related to how organisms depend on one another. Okay. So, but the term symbiosis don't need to be mentioned in the answer. Okay. Yes, octopus. Okay, okay, then I'm gonna end live. Okay, I'll see you all 2 weeks later. Okay, for P6 science, I'll see you all 2 weeks later, which means 24th of June. Okay, see ya. Enjoy your June holidays. Enjoy June holidays. Okay, capybara. Why do you put that word? It's supposed to be the solo leveling. Arise. Not that. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Tomorrow is P5 Science. Yes, for TikTok. Not me. I'm not doing P5 Science. Teacher KH is doing P5 Science. Okay. All right. So I'll see you all 2 weeks later for P6 Science, 24th of June. Okay. Bye. See you. I'm gonna end the live. Bye. Bye.